the next phase, right, is that I can combine the handling of her paw with the clipping. So there's a couple things. One, you know, there's actually two things that we've worked on so far, handling and also leaning in. So the easiest one for me to do right now is to do the leaning in with the clippers, so I'm gonna do that next. Yes, I see you, and you're very lovely, and you're doing such a beautiful job. All right, so I'm gonna bring the clippers in and lean in. Bring the clippers in. She's sort of staring at my treat hand. I'm actually doing all of what we've worked on. I'm scissoring, I'm touching her actual nails, and I'm leaning in. All right, so the next phase is where it gets kind of challenging. Now, at this point, we've worked on all the components separately that are easy to work on separately. I feel like I'm a magician trying to hide my tricks from her. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to actually handle her paw and use the clippers at the same time. Obviously, I don't have a third hand to reinforce, right? So what I want to introduce her to is the concept of trace conditioning. So what we've been doing so far is delay conditioning, where the treat happens at the same time as the quote unquote scary thing, which in this case is not scary for her at all, because we're sort of just doing conditioning because she wasn't already afraid of these things. So with trace conditioning, you actually stop doing the stimulus and then produce the reinforcer. The best thing is to produce the reinforcer quickly. That's how they form the best association. This isn't quite as good as delay conditioning, so it would be better if we had a third hand or if you had a helper to make the reward, the reinforcer, happen at the same time as the stimulus. But in this case, I'm just gonna say it's okay, we're gonna go to the second best thing, which is trace conditioning, and we'll do our best by keeping the repetitions, not the presentation of the cheese really fast. So first, just to introduce her to that concept, I'm not gonna do it with a brand new thing. So I'm just gonna introduce her with the handling of the paw, that stops, then the treat comes, because that's what she's gonna have to be doing once we actually combine the clippers. The same thing, I'm gonna come in here, stop, then the treat comes. See how I'm not even moving to get the treat, so I either have to have a treat in my hand and then do that, or I have to have them in a little bowl, or in this case in a towel, and then not even move until I've reached the criterion. And I was distracted there, so I should have stopped handling her paw first. So I'm gonna come in here, look closely, stop, and give her a treat. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the clippers now. So come in here, this is what we've practiced already, stop, then the treat happens. Come in here, actually touch the nail, stop that, then the treat happens. All right, so she's doing great with that. What I'm gonna do is start to combine things. I'm gonna go to the easiest level that I can think of with the paw, and the easiest level, oh my gosh, the drool, and the easiest level that I can think of with the clippers. So what I'm gonna do is just touch her paw while holding the clippers. Easy. First I gotta get her back in her spot. Get back here. You will get cheese, I promise you. I know you're so excited about the cheese and mommy talks way too much. So I'm gonna hold her paw with the clippers. Stop and give her a reward. Hold her paw with the clippers. Stop and give her a reward. Now I'm gonna actually touch a toe, baby. Manage a toe. Good girl. See how I'm still not even touching or even putting the clippers very close. I'm just having them happen at the same time. Good girl. Good job. All right, I'm gonna combine that with touching the clippers to her hand, or to her paw, or even just getting it really close, depending on what she can handle. What happened? I'm sorry. So I'm actually gonna give her a treat, even though she pulled her paw away. For whatever reason, she's a little uncomfortable with that repetition. All right, so here we go. Grab her paw. Good girl. Grab her paw. Good girl. And actually, she seems so comfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and touch a nail. Oh, sorry. That's a little too much, huh? Her paw. Uh-oh, 2 in a row, huh? So if that happens, guys, don't keep trying to get that far. It's fine. Do some easy ones. All right, just work at her pace. And actually, she's been doing this for a while, so I'm gonna call it quits. I think this is just a little too long of a session for her, and I totally understand if we've been doing way too much, huh? All right, good girl, all done. All right, so last time we got to the point where I was touching the clippers to Wee Wee's hands. I'm sorry, Wee Wee's paws, her nails. And now I'm gonna see if we can work up to actually being able to trim off little tiny slivers. And if you're not sure about how to actually clip nails, check out my video on what your goal is when you're clipping, where to clip, and how much to clip at a time. So I'm not gonna focus on those instructions today. I'm just gonna show you the next step in our counter conditioning process of getting her comfortable with cooperative nail trims. All right, so I've got my treats here. I've got my clippers, which she already knows that she likes. So I'm gonna warm up by just grabbing the hand and touching the clippers to her paw, and that means a treat happens. Good girl. I'm gonna grab here, touch, good girl. And so I like to warm up several times with several little attempts and see how I'm starting to do a little bit of a longer time. Usually when you're working on clipping off, you okay? When I'm working on clipping off little tiny slivers, I do try to make sure that she's already comfortable with a little bit of a longer repetition. See how that one lasted longer. I didn't just barely touch it. I actually held it there for a second or two. Good girl. Very nice. You're so good at this. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can actually start to take off a little sliver, and if it takes me too long, yay, she got a little sliver, you're so smart. If it takes me too long, I can always just quit that repetition. Like here, I wasn't able to get a sliver off, but I don't really wanna push her to the point where she's pulling out her paw like she did a second ago. Taking off a little sliver. Wow, that was so good. Oh, my hands are all slimy from your drool. Taking off a little sliver. Very nice, and that was actually a little more than I wanted to take off. Oopsies, but we're not really that close to the quick, so I didn't hurt her. Good job. So there again, she was like, lady, why are you touching my paw so much? Very nice. I'm gonna do a couple easy ones. While you're working up to this stage, there are a couple of things you can do. So if you have a dog who's sensitive to the sound of the clippers, you can use spaghetti to, like raw spaghetti, and start clipping the spaghetti and show her that the sound is a good thing. If you have a dog, oh, you okay? So if she pulls away, make sure that you just give her a second. She's just letting me know, I'm not ready yet, mama. Okay, all right, you ready now? Good girl. Okay. I'm gonna give her a second. I don't know if she got spooked by me touching her paws or if she's just impatient. So I'm gonna try again. Let's do a couple easy ones. Good girl. Can you get your little head, here, look. Can you get your little head up a little bit? Move it in front of her a little bit. So I'm gonna do a couple of easy reps. When you do get to the stage of clipping, this can happen because it's a little nerve-wracking for dogs. They feel a little bit of pressure, especially if you take off too much at a time. Good girl, very nice. And so there's nothing wrong with doing a more difficult repetition and then doing an easy one. And one thing you can do to avoid this stage of her getting, see how she's just pulling her paw away so many times? To avoid this happening, remember that time that I took off too much of her nail? I suspect that that's what happened. You're crazy. You're really crazy. Yeah, you're a crazy girl. You get your paw. I'm gonna see if she'll offer me her paw. What? She hears something outside. Can you have your little patita? Good girl, very nice. And you're moving, here, let me shift your chair a little bit, thank you. I'm not really sure what, there we go, good girl. I think she's mostly just impatient. So I'm gonna see if I can do some quick repetitions and if that fixes the pulling away behavior, because I can't tell if she's pulling away or just pawing at me to hurry up. Might be that she just wanted more treats. Girl, very nice. So this is sort of called going back to kindergarten, going back to a bunch of the steps that we had already done. Very nice, sweetie. So since she's getting impatient, I think I'm gonna start mixing up long repetitions and slow repetitions. All right, I'm gonna do a longer one next. Girl, and I'm gonna do some quick ones now. My goal right now is not actually to trim her nails. My goal is to get her comfortable with nail trims. If you really are in a spot where your dog's nails are way too long and they need a trim, you can either take them to a vet, and I mean, at that point, you're really gonna undo a lot of the work that you did. So it's not the ideal situation. You can also look at my other video of like how to do nail trims when you really just need them done, but you wanna try to not undo all the work that you've done. So I have a video on that. So right now, I'm not focusing on trimming. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can shave off little slivers, but what she needs is a history of seeing that getting her nails trimmed is not a scary thing. So if she's pulling away, I make it easier. I don't get frustrated and I don't try to rush the process, okay? Because I'm investing what could end up being, I mean, for some dogs, it's like a year of work, but when you think about how many years they live, it's so worth it to be able to keep their nails healthy. You don't have to always go and pay for nail trims, and your dog is comfortable. And for me, it doesn't make sense that we wouldn't make dogs comfortable for something that should be just a routine part of their care. I'm gonna probably do this exact same process of just practicing touching a nail trimming off a little sliver, touching a nail, trimming off a little sliver, until she's really comfortable with that, until there aren't any instances where she's pulling her paw away, until she seems really happy and calm with that process. Then I'll show you guys the next steps of like, okay, but what if you want to actually trim a nail and not just take off one sliver per treat? You could do that you can do that the same way that you teach a dog to do more behaviors per treat for any behavior that you're teaching. So it's just a matter of going gradually. You maybe start with 2 slivers per treat and then go a little bit longer, et cetera, et cetera.